So you most likely clicked on this video just to get an idea of what this Casio knockoff watch looks like. Now this brand here is known as Sanda or Sanda. I think it's Sanda, S-A-N-D-A. And I personally purchased this watch for $7 from the Temu app. And why? Well, it looks really great. Definitely looks great. And anybody who does not know much about watches will definitely compliment you on having an awesome watch like this here. It does come in different colors, and I want to just talk about how luxurious and elegant this watch looks. The day I wore it, got many compliments, and people just didn't even seem to notice that it's a sort of knockoff or just another brand trying to look like Casio here. So if you're familiar with Casios or you want to know what I'm talking about, it would be this watch here, the Casio AQ-230. And this is exactly what we're looking at right now. You can see the comparison that they look just as about identical. But there are some differences, and we'll talk about that in a moment. First, let's talk about the watch itself and what to expect. So the material, what I like about the belt itself, it doesn't seem to be painted. The little buckle here that snaps on, it seems fairly secure for the amount of time that I wore it. And it is adjustable just like that of the Casio watch here, okay? And you're gonna get that little brand name here saying Sanda, okay? If I pronounce it wrong, sorry, but I think it's S-A-N-D-A. I'm still new with this brand here. And it's a nice size, so if you prefer watches that have a big face, then this may not be for you. What I like about this is, other than the look and the overall design, to it, it's a dual type of watch. So we got the analog up here to the top and the digital down here, which can all be adjusted. And we have, by holding down this here, you can change the analog and then press it one time to stop it from being adjusted, okay? And of course, you want to have this to match the time of the digital one. This one here is going to be your light, which to me, that green light is really awesome. So when you press it down, it's going to have something like this here. Let me just go ahead and zoom that in for you and focus so you can see what I'm talking about, okay? So that's some good light there. It kind of bleeds out on the edges of the display, but you do get to see the actual time itself. Then this here would be your modes, and you can see the different modes set up here for you. All right. And that's how you would go about doing it, okay? Now I can't recall exactly how I went about adjusting the time, but I think it's holding down on the light. There you go. So when you hold down on the light button, you'll be able to adjust the time if you want to, and then using the mode button to change the time itself. So you got the hours here, and then you have pressing the light the second time would be the minutes, and then the seconds, and then going into the 24 or 12-hour format. And then once you're done, it's going to exit. So all in all, it's a great watch. I gotta say, based on my experience with some Temu products, I can't really say much about the battery, but if it's cheap, then most likely it has a very cheap battery. One of the bad things I want to point out is the accuracy of the two times. Now, this is where it's going to get annoying. If you did fix the analog to match the digital time, you will always find the digital time will always be ahead of the analog. So that's one of the downsides of having this cheap watch here. And if there's anything else I want to say about it, even though it feels premium, I gotta say the little slight opening you can see here, if you look closely right there, you'll see how it's slightly opened here. So the back is not really attached fairly too good, and definitely it can say water resistance, but with it being like that, we know that there's a high chance of water seeping in through that back portion there. The belt seems very durable, doesn't seem to be smooth or polished. Feels kind of rough here on the edges here, and if you got soft fingers, there's a chance that you might end up cutting yourself with it. And I would recommend that you leave this little seal here to avoid, if you've got sweaty hands, you sweat easily, leave it there so you won't get tarnished or anything like that fast. It does say stainless steel, but we know Temu products already. Now, if you want to quickly compare this here to this watch here, just to get an idea of the differences. So in case you decide that you want to buy one of these without anybody knowing that it's not a Casio, let's go ahead and quickly look at it. So I'm just going to have it like this for the most part of this video here so we can see what's what. All right, so definitely the name is going to be different. So we have Sanda to the top and Casio here. And we see water resist for the Casio, but this here will say water 50-meter resist. Don't know how they went about to word that out. Maybe it's just my English. I don't know what I'm saying, but hey, it is what it is, right? And of course, you can see that there is maybe perhaps, if you tilt this watch here, you can see the little bell icon and the other features to the bottom right section, which shows here as well. The build is going to be very similar. The belt itself too, the stainless steel belt, is going to have that very similar design here. And this is the color that's going to be matching this color, except this I think is going to have a gold on the inside for the dial, whereas this is going to have silver. And they're not exactly the same. If you watch closely, the little notches are a bit shorter on the Casio, whereas the Sanda own is longer. But all in all, it's a great knockoff, I would say. And yeah, if you don't want to spend too much on a Casio, but Casios are actually quite affordable and long lasting. But if you don't, if you get this for a good deal, let's just say at $7 and less, I'd say grab it because that was the deal I had. They usually are priced a bit higher than 7, maybe 10, sometimes 12. But if you could get it for under 10, I'd say go for it. It's a really nice watch. And if you're not a sweaty person and you work in a very cool area, an office area, definitely recommend getting this one here. There are different colors, as I mentioned. Hold on. And you can see here for yourself, we got the white face, the light blue, black, silver, and then you got the blue one, which is the one I have. And I'm not sure what makes these two different, but they look pretty much the same. But those would be the colors available. I just love the blue. If there was a green dial, I would have gone with that, but that's that. So you can see this one is priced at $920. So if you can grab it now, go ahead. But that's that, my friends. Let me know if you got this same watch. Let me know your experience so others can know about it. And of course, as always, if you have any negative things to say, don't hesitate because we want people who's watching this video to have an idea of what to expect when they buy it so we can prevent people from spending their money on things that wouldn't last too long. And as I said, the biggest thing that's really bad about this so far is the inaccuracy of the two times here to stay together. They just seem to be ahead, especially the digital one here. And you can see that you can't really view the digital too well from different angles. You just have to have it on that specific set angle. And that's that. It feels pretty light too, so it's a good one for the most part. Like and sub.